Hello YouTube and welcome to another video. So I'm going to show you a game, the final game of a tournament that I played versus this little girl named Miss Larre, and she is about 1400 or 1500 rated as of now, I think, but she played way stronger than that. Maybe she's rated high now, maybe she's like 17, 1800. But she's really a tough opponent to play against. And I had 3.5 points um, going into this round. No, I had 3 points going into that round, not 3.5. And she had 4. There was another player who also had 3 points before that, and he managed to win. So I had to actually win this myself to get a chance at the prize and getting into top 3 at the tournament. So I was black, she was white, and if you meet a 10-year-old girl or 12-year-old girl, I don't remember how old she was, but she had this little hand that shook mine, and it felt like someone, like she was so nice, it seemed. When I shook her hand, she didn't use any muscles at all. She just like this. It was really fun. Anyways, um, I played the French, and we kind of ended up in this position where I played my bishop to b4, because right before this tournament I had read that bishop b4 is actually quite reasonable to play after the knight comes to c3, and that's why many people places their knight at d2 instead, so they can play c3 themselves. She played bishop to d3, reasonable. I took on e4, and she took back. And now, of course, I just wanted to kick that bishop away. And now I went for this somewhat weird looking move, knight d5, putting pressure on this c3 knight, of course. But after something like this or this, I'm not threatening much. I don't. And she actually is standing much better here. But my kind of my point of playing this game was I had to make things crazy. And that's the reason why I show you this game, because she made an error, a mistake, and then she let the game slip. She had a winning position and she failed to go through with it, because I found a nice tactic later on, which I'm going to show you, but we'll play on. But what I should have played is just castling, and this is what might have happened then. Something like this. It's nothing to write home about, but it's an equal position. I have pressure along the c file on all these 3 pawns, so those are tripled. But I'm kind of lacking development in space for my bishop here, and she has a bishop here and an open position, so that means that she is going to have attacking chances in that position. But all right, I played knight d5, and she played knight to e2. I was happy about this, although she is standing better, at least the computer says so. But I was happy with my position right now, because it was an kind of weird. This is a weird way of playing the French, right? Especially f5. When you see f5 in such a way, then you have to follow it up with e5, and that's what I did. Because I was very concerned about this pawn lacking the ability to move forward, or actually I wanted to trade it off with this pawn on d4. But this actually is good for white, because it opens up more space and she can have so much on this diagonal. So let's say here, and queen here, here, she can build up an enormous pressure on this knight and on this diagonal. And let's say she gets her knight out here on f7 after I have moved my king to h8. That might be catastrophic, actually. But that's not what happened. She took graciously. And I took back. Now she played c3. But still, this diagonal. And that's why when I played f5, I looked at several different things that she could do. And this was one of them. And another thing was that when she when I played f5 here, I thought that she might go for this one first. That was probably my main concern, this or this. But it doesn't seem to actually do that much. But she went back to g3, and let's see what's going to happen. c3 and bishop c5. I thought that was a good move, and it's almost equal. She's a bit better. Queen to c2. That actually gives me something. I can play f4 here, and that blocks in the bishop, stops the development of the rooks coming out, and also makes this knight look awkward. It has to go to e4. That blocks this diagonal. So it might seem a bit weird to actually not doing that, but I don't think I even considered that move because of bishop captures h7 check. I thought that was just losing, but it was not. So I captured on d3. I thought that was the only reasonable try. But at this point, I felt like she was actually better. But at least, as of now, I had the bishop here. So yeah, this is what happened. And right here, I should have just played c6, or let's say bishop to d7, trying to get this bishop out and attack on this diagonal. But I did not. I played g6, which isn't killing, it isn't terrible. I still got the chance to make things right after this knight moves back to g3. But I wanted to be clever, and I wanted to blow things up on the board, make everything completely random and very weird looking. So I played g5. That is actually a losing move. And why? Well, she can capture on c7 here. And this pawn is forever lost. And I don't have enough compensation for it because she has all these pieces going from c7 as well, the bishop. That protects the white king, and I only have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, but it's not enough to actually start an attack because these are way more effective than my attack. There's only one actual attacking piece here, and that's the queen on h4. But I thought this would stir things up, and also I thought it wasn't that bad giving away that c7 pawn, but actually it was. It turned out to be really bad. I played g4, just continuing, but this is actually almost lost for me now. She played queen to d3, sorry, and I played my bishop out to e6. So I was aiming for this, and also something like this. If the bishop moved back, then I would have rook to d8. And she played b4 here, and I was kind of happy to see that move because I could have played this bishop back, but I played bishop to c4, which is what the computer also wants me to play. Now she made a mistake, one of 2 mistakes in this game. She should have played queen to c2. Well, this is the only mistake she did, sorry. But she should have played queen to c2. And in that case, I would have had not much to write home about, but It might have been drawn after something like this, and maybe even f4, but that's not what happened because she took on f5 instead. And this is where I want you guys to see what's going on, because she's threatening to capture my queen there. I'm threatening to capture her queen. So after she captures, I can capture here, like here. If I capture on d3, she can capture here. Then I capture here. Then she captures here. I captured there. She captures here. And it kind of got chaotic from that point out. Like she would have these two and that one for these two rooks. So it felt like something had to happen here. And I had looked at previously that if this knight moved, I had a decent chance of making something happen, but I didn't exactly know what. So I sat there thinking, and then I saw it. So please pause the video and think for yourselves, what would you have done here? This was her big mistake in the position. It doesn't look like it, but it really was. Now you can consider bishop captures f2, for instance. Rook captures f5, but that just hangs the rook, in which I can take there, but it doesn't seem enough. She has pressure on the c5 bishop, remember that. And yeah, what should I play? So I'm going to wait 10 more seconds, and then I'm going to show you guys. If you haven't paused it, pause it. Okay, so what she should have played, of course, is queen c2. She played knight captures f5. And I came up with this shocking idea that actually wins a piece for me. This is it. Queen captures f2. Now, why is that winning? Let's say the king goes here. What happens then? Well, I can take on d3. If he captures back, then I capture here. And I have attack on both this and this. And he doesn't attack my bishop anymore. Let's say he takes, which he did in the game, then the same thing happens, although somewhat different. And there's only those two options. She can't really do anything else than those two. So I took on f2, she captured back, rook captures f2, and I took back, bishop captures f2. And again, if she goes there, then I take here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 versus 1, 2, 3, and 4 pieces. And again, there's not much to really discuss. She took, but it turns out also to be fatal because I've calculated all of this. So bishop captures d3. Now, do you see this? That is what is actually winning the game, this piece, because right now she is she's just down the exchange a rook for a knight or a bishop, but she can't really protect this knight on f5, and that's what the whole idea was all about. And that's why it worked. So she can't do anything else than to play something like this. She could have gone back here, but here, but it wouldn't have changed much. She could have gone here, but then I would have just taken by either my rook or my bishop. So she went this way, hoping maybe that I would go for something like this. I don't know, but I just took, and now all this happened. So I'm not gonna show you guys that much until the very last end. Knight d5, rook c1, and I kind of felt bad for her because I knew that she had been ripped off of that. I knew that queen c2 was a better move, but she played knight captures f5, and I've kind of felt bad for her because she was a really great player, really strong player, and there was nothing actually stopping her from winning that except from that move. She miscalculated it, and that's what happens, especially in amateur chess. Knight to e3, yeah, and now I'm starting to get my pieces surrounding the white king here. But she holds on, she tries to hold on. King g3, I capture. Now what would you have played here? The computer doesn't like my move as much as let's say king h7. But I really enjoy this move. from a practical point of view, I think this move is really good. So what is it? Well, pause the video if you'd like. It's h4. I think that's just a really good practical move. And now if the king moves here, then there's checkmate, of course. And if she takes, then I believe that after rook g1, this king is only having these squares to walk to. And that is terrible. And the computer suggests that she should have played bishop g3 here. And that's probably true. But still, I thought that this was just so strong after rook to g1 that I didn't even consider that. And I don't think she even saw that this was mating after she moved her knight, because what happens if she does that? There's a mate in 2. So that was her final mistake in the game. Pause the video if you want to find a mate. Yeah, knight f5 check. So the king has to move, and then bishop to f7 is checkmate. And after the game, we shook hands one more time, and I think she was quite upset, but she controlled herself, and I felt really bad, but still I congratulated her upon winning the tournament, because there were now 3 players, me, her, and another player from my club, who got 4 points. And since everyone got 4 points, like all the 3 of us, we all shared the first, second, and third prizes together. But she won on quality in front of me and in front of the other person from my club. And that was pretty much it. But she was disappointed, and I understand that. And I felt terrible about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little game that I played a long time ago, and that you all want to see some more of these games, because I really have some. And yeah, if you enjoy what I'm doing, please subscribe both to YouTube and Twitch. And I also have a Facebook page called The Norwegian Chess Giant, or just Norwegian Chess Giant. So please go to all those and subscribe, and the donation link is up there if you want to donate something. I really appreciate doing these videos, but it kind of takes up a little too much time sometimes. So if you'd like, just donate. I would really appreciate that too. Of course, anyone would have appreciated that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Comment and subscribe. Bye. Bye bye bye.